everything right, it was you and me.
Hello everyone, I'm here with my good friend Kiera James.
Hello.
We are talking about all things bookish, what got us into reading, all of the things of the sort that makes us love escaping. This is one of my best friends ever. I'm gonna tell them how we met.
Oh, how did we meet? We lived in the same dorm our sophomore year.
Lived on the same floor, and I had met one of her roommates first. Decided sophomore year of college to all go get like a group together and go see the new Marvel movie, Shang-Chi. After that, we just kind of clicked. We hung out that night, later that night. One of her roommates and one of mine. We just all had a great time. Now she's my bestie.
Yay.
But the second time we hung out, I mentioned that I love to read, and she talked about how much she loved reading too. And now we talk about books together all the time. We've buddy read a couple of books, so I thought it'd be cool to get a new perspective. We read pretty similar genres, which we'll get into. And yeah, let's get right into the video, the movie, the talk show. So how about we start off simple and talk about how you got into reading?
I started reading like in middle school, I would say. You know, like when the Hunger Games, Divergent, Maze Runner books came out. I wouldn't say I read for fun then. Like I feel like I was reading a lot for like school like requirements. And I kind of let it go in high school because it wasn't required anymore. But I feel like when the pandemic started, like getting back into reading and like looking into new genres and stuff.
What was your favorite out of those like dystopian types? Mine, I have a favorite, and mine's Hunger Games. I'm back in the world of Hunger Games.
Me too. I'm rereading Hunger Games right now. I just started reading Mockingjay and the new book that's coming out too.
The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, speaking of that, that's the movie that's coming out on November 17th. Very excited to watch it. I'm seeing it with my family. But I didn't enjoy the book.
Really? I have the book, but I haven't read it yet.
Yeah, me and my mom, we always read the books together, and we just could not get into it.
Wow.
And I think it was because we were listening to it on audio.
Oh, okay.
And it was just kind of like, the voices were just terrible, not very good.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, what format do you read more on? Like, do you read physically, listen to audiobooks, or ebook?
I read on my phone, so I guess ebook, and I don't do audio. I feel like, I mean, like you were saying with the Hunger Games book, I don't know, I feel like it just doesn't translate well. And like when I read like myself, I feel like I can make up the characters in my head.
What would you say your favorite genre is? Your top 3 favorite genres?
Top 3, I want to say, in no particular order, sci-fi, romance, and then, like, yeah, like sci-fi meaning like Hunger Games,
dystopian,
like dystopian. I feel like that is sci-fi though, no?
Like fantasy, yeah.
Okay, yeah, well that, whatever, like Hunger Games, Divergent, whatever that is.
Yeah.
Romance, and then lately like contemporary fiction. I don't know,
like Malibu Rising.
Yeah, like that.
We buddy read Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid, and that was that's gonna be one of my favorite books of the year.
So good.
For sure. It was so good. I was sobbing. It was a lot.
Yeah, all of her little books, that little like
universe
books, yeah, they're really good.
Yes, she has Malibu Rising connects to Daisy Jones and the Six,
Evelyn Hugo,
The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo,
Carrie Soto.
Yeah. So those are some of our favorite books. We love them. Can you guess what my favorite genres are?
Definitely romance, number 1. I feel like for you, fantasy. Can I say like contemporary fiction? Yeah.
Those are my favorite genres, but I would do romance, then contemporary fiction, and then fantasy. I love fantasy, but I just don't read much of it.
Yeah.
So how about we talk about our favorite books of the year so far? We are in November, which means it's almost time to like reflect at the end of the year about what our favorite books were. Do you know some of yours?
Definitely. I mean,
wait,
what? You want to guess?
Are you doing like your favorite, like your top of the year?
Yeah, I could do like top 3.
Let's do your top 3, but I kind of want to guess. I want to try to guess. Daisy Jones.
Yeah.
That's number 1.
So Daisy Jones and the Six takes place in the 70s, I think, yeah. And it's about like a rock band who, I don't even know, what do they do? They rock, like, and just like it goes like through like the trials and tribulations of like their journey, like how they came up, how like Daisy joined the band, and like her relationship with the other main character, Billy. And it's just really amazing.
Is the second book romance or contemporary fiction?
Contemporary.
Is it Malibu Rising?
No.
Carrie Soto?
No.
Evelyn Hugo?
Yeah. I cried reading that book. Sobbed.
Okay, so Evelyn Hugo follows a famous superstar named Evelyn Hugo, and she is known throughout her career of having many husbands, 7 to be exact. It kind of goes through each of her relationships. Some of them were love connections, some of them were kind of like business relationships that turned into marriage, PR. Just really shows her journey of becoming super famous, and you also get to see who the true love of her life is and why it couldn't possibly work out. Such a good book. Love that one. I cried reading that one as well. And then, is your third contemporary fiction?
No.
I'm assuming it's one of the Hunger Games.
Yeah.
Books. Catching Fire?
No, actually.
Mockingjay?
No.
The original?
Yeah.
Wow, Hunger Games.
It just like took me back like to middle school, and I just don't remember it being that good when I was reading it. I was like, nose in the book.
Nose in the book the whole time. Yeah,
so good.
Those books are so good.
So
if you
iconic.
have not seen the Hunger Games movies or books, or read the books, you are truly living under a rock, because they're amazing. They follow, it's like way into the future, right? In this society called Panem, like a country, I don't know.
Yeah.
And basically, to keep everybody in line, they have these things called the Hunger Games. The country is split up into 12 districts, 13, which is a little spoiler, but 12 districts. And I have chills. I just started rewatching the movies.
So
and
good.
I'm obsessed.
The books go into so much more detail.
Their books are way better than
yeah,
the movies.
so much better.
So much better. Every year for the Hunger Games, they draw 2 names from each district, 1 boy, 1 girl, and then they get put into an arena, and the Hunger Games begins. It's televised for everybody to watch, and only 1 person can win, and you're basically just killing everyone. So in the Hunger Games, Katniss Everdeen is chosen for District 12. She actually volunteers in place of her sister.
She goes to war.
She goes into the Hunger Games, and things don't really go as planned when she kind of starts falling for the other boy from her district that is entering the game with her, and it's just such an amazing story. We are almost coming to an end for our show today. I wanted to ask a few like wrap-up questions, like what is your reading goal for 2023? How many books are you planning on reading?
My goal for this year was 20 books. Last year it was 15, so 5 more than last year. And I think I'm gonna reach out. I'm reading my last book right now, so.
Oh, you're on your 20th book?
Yeah, I was reading a lot this year, for me.
Yeah.
For me.
That's a lot in general.
Yeah, thanks.
My goal was 100 books, and I'm definitely not reaching it. Before I have, but this year has been incredibly busy for me. I worked all summer. So I think right now I'm probably around like 70 something books.
Still a lot.
And yeah, I probably won't reach my goal, but that's okay because reading is for fun and not a competition, of course. What is your goal for next year?
I feel like I want to go like 5 more since I did that this year, so I'm gonna strive for 25 books.
I love that. I love smart goals. What is it called? Reasonable,
specific,
yes,
attainable, objective.
No, there's no O in smart.
Oh, never mind.
That's SWAT. No.
Oh, that's something else.
Okay. And I think my goal next year, I think I'm gonna have to actually go down because it's been hard for me to reach my goals. So I think I'm gonna go down to 50 books this year.
That's
just
fair.
Because that is definitely attainable for me. And yeah, I'll also be done with school, but I will be working every day. So I definitely need a smaller goal. Last question for today's show. If you didn't know, amongst readers, we have this term called TBR, and that means to be read. People have long lists of books that they really want to read. What is a couple books on your TBR that you are looking forward to reading in the future?
I definitely want to read Iron Flame next, since I read Fourth Wing. Like,
I love that book.
And then also the Hunger Games Song of Soundbirds. I think that's what it's called, right? Yeah, those are like my 2, like definitely like what I'm gonna read next books. What about you?
I'm in the middle currently of Iron Flame and I'm loving it. And then I want to read Hopeless by Elsie Silver. I love this series, and this was the last book in the series, and that came out in October. I'm a little bit behind. Those are the books that we have to look forward to. Thank you guys so much for watching today's show. If you enjoyed, then leave a rating and review. And
thanks for having me.
Oh, I'm so glad you came. If you want to get into reading, then definitely check out some of the recs. The Hunger Game books are definitely a great way to get into reading more. It's so fun to like buddy read books and talk about all of our favorite characters. Thanks for watching. Bye. Cheers.
If I got one thing right, it was you.